Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ken Frederick Podcast. This is episode 36, Stranger Things Season 2 Predictions. I want to say thank you for listening, and if you just stumbled across us on the interwebs, check us out at kfpodcast.com, facebook.com, kfpodcast. There's a backslash in there somewhere. Oh, well. And then Ken Fred Podcast on the Twitter.
Or just look at the screen.
Or look at the screen. But I memorized them, so I want to say them all. All right. Good. So we have us, and then we got returning guest. We got Perry.
Still here.
Hi. Hey.
Greetings.
Finishing out the Stranger Things, yeah. And then we got Donald.
Yep.
And Justin.
Yo.
All right. So we're going to talk about Stranger Things Season 2 and our predictions of said Season 2. We're going to go through some facts. Where do we think they're going to go in Season 2 with the kids, the sheriff and Will's mom, the Upside Down, the government. And
the Inside Out.
The Upside Down, the Whip It About. And then our final thoughts on the whole situation. So let's get into it.
So we definitely confirmed it's coming back for Season 2.
Yep.
When will it be back?
Probably
I don't know.
I don't know.
It took 13 minutes, or a minute 13 to get them all
It'll take a long
flustered.
time.
So have they confirmed that the whole cast will be back, or that's not too early for that?
What have you know? Give us the info, Justin.
Well, they're not like big stars, so I would assume, right?
Well, you never know. Sometimes when people don't want to do stuff, or
all right, yeah.
they might not want them back, or they might introduce some new characters.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
Did they ever introduce the other kids as parents?
No. Well, it was just Will's and Mike's.
Dustin's parents?
No, not
I hope
Dustin's.
they're all, toothless.
They're all toothless and have that weird bone disease.
They all have buck teeth, yeah.
So
While he researches.
Snaggletooth.
they already kind of, for time, like if we want to wonder who's going to come back, I feel like a timeline. At the end of it, they show that it's 1 month later, and then Will's starting to throw up the
slugs.
And they're going into the down the drain. So
Okay.
we don't know if this is an ongoing problem. Is this the first time? Why wasn't medical technology able to pick up the fact that those were in his system whenever he was in the hospital?
I mean, they did check him out and everything, but like they had no clue that he's able to spit up. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're so small and they grew bigger.
Well, I've heard one theory that maybe there's inside Will is a pocket to the Upside Down where they're coming through.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh yeah,
It didn't seem like the first time, because he was pretty casual about
Yeah,
it.
he like-
Well, obviously when he was in the hospital, remember he started choking in the hospital coffin?
Yeah.
So I think he's pretty used to spitting out slugs.
Here they come again. All right.
And strange he's not telling anybody about it, but
Well, I mean, I feel like he might not want to tell anybody because everything's perfect now.
Yeah.
He's like, remember his house before this situation? Now it's fixed up.
looks nicer.
It looks like
Family's good.
People are helping out the family, so that they're they're in a good situation. Maybe he feels like that's going to screw it up if he says anything about his weird negative zone slugs.
Right. So here's what I want to get into.
Well, can we see where Justin's progress on information is first?
Honestly, I'm now showing that it has not officially been confirmed yet.
Really?
No. Rewind.
What?
I can't find that it's officially been.
All right, well, let's say we'll break the news. It's been we don't have any.
It'll be
Yeah,
back.
I mean, the CEO of Netflix has come out and said we'd be dumb not to do another season.
Right.
Well, yeah,
But
I've got so many
I
views.
don't think they have the plans for it yet, which is why they can't officially announce it. They may need to sign new contracts with the actors.
Probably.
They got to schedule shooting, things like that.
Okay.
Stranger Things Season 2 confirmed as sequel.
I don't know.
Confirmed as a sequel.
The
All right,
Google
let's
is not
move
showing
on.
me that.
Well, here's what I'm going to say is if they steal any ideas from this podcast, we're going to sue them.
Right.
And then we can become, maybe we can get on
We're
iTunes.
gonna star on the show.
Yeah, it's going to be us.
All right.
Guest
We'll be
star
the
on the
kids
show.
growing
I'll
up.
be an adult Dustin. I feel like I could meld into that role nicely.
Okay.
I can knock my teeth out.
Yeah. I'll knock your teeth out for you.
All right.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through where we think they're going with all these different people. Now,
All right.
you have a very unique theory that you've been wanting to tell.
Do you want me to say the
Do
theory
you
now?
want it now, or do you want to wait towards the end when we get to the Upside Down? Or do you want to start? Because we're going to start with the kids. What do they do next with the kids? Where are they going with the kids? I think you should give your theory.
Just give it here now? All right.
Why don't we start off with Ken's, and now, because we're going to put the image up that I like, Ken's theory on what's happening here.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
here's my speculation of what's happening. I feel like this is all tied into the D&D game. They showed no information of what happened to the
Demogorgon.
Demogorgon and all this other backstory until the D&D game was completed. They never said what Will's father did. So I feel like not Will. They never said what Mike's father did for a living.
Okay, the one that was like clueless.
He was just oblivious, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how oblivious he actually is. I feel like that ties in him, Mike, the D&D game,
Okay.
into the special facility in. It all ties in together.
Okay.
I feel like the D&D game is what controls the Upside Down. So whenever he mentions at the end of it, when they have all the questions about, he goes on about the Thessal Hydra because they destroyed it. Then they talk about the Lost Knight, the Proud Princess, and all the strange flowers.
Okay, so explain that.
I feel like those are all going to be things in the next season that appear 1 month after, because when they mention like maybe the weird face things come out of the flowers, the strange flower, because in the last episode I talked about the eggs and how
Okay.
they're growing all through.
All right.
Maybe the strange flowers grow the Demogorgons in this world, in this Upside Down. The Proud Princess could be 11 because she's the one that helped them, and she was like
She did talk about being pretty and wanting to be
Yeah.
princess and all that, yeah?
and then maybe they introduce a new character, the Lost Knight.
Okay.
Or maybe
How
Will
do you
could,
think his
or
father...
Will could be the Lost Knight because he went over there and was lost.
Yeah.
And he was found and
Or this could be like a Jumanji situation where his father did this when he was younger, and he has to come
Why
back.
do you think
and
the dad's tied into it?
he was? Now that you mention it,
he was too oblivious.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was not involved in anything going on in that house. And he was so like, oh, we have to let the government do it. He was so trustworthy of the government.
Right.
I feel like that's going to tie in somewhere.
It's not a bad theory.
And if not, I'm going to totally do my own show based on it.
So they can maybe be... They're controlling that world by the game they play. What would be the Thessal Hydra then that they killed? That was one of the monsters.
Maybe, I don't know. The Thessal Hydra in the game is a multi-headed giant. Like if you kind of picture from Godzilla, what is the Ghidra? There's a bunch of different heads.
Okay, I know what a Hydra
Well,
is.
the Demogorgon has two heads. I vaguely remember this from D&D, right?
Right.
There's two heads, and they're actually kind of fighting each other.
Oh,
So it's
right,
like
yeah.
the
Yeah, I seen a
world and the
picture of
Upside
it. It
Down.
looked like kind of like griffin heads, or
Yeah.
I think
Or maybe just because it's a weird twisting from the Upside Down twist to what he's
Yeah.
creating. So it could be something different.
Okay.
But I definitely think like the things that they mentioned, like whenever they have all the questions and said the quest was too short,
Yeah.
I feel like that ties into the reason the season was so short.
Like the quest was short, but it was only because it was only 8 episodes.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah.
I feel like the D&D game, if they continue playing it, it's going to parallel the show. That's going to be the parallel.
Yeah, because they flipped the board over.
Yeah.
And
Well, and because the way Will ended up there is he sacrificed in the first game. He sacrificed himself
right.
so the
Yep.
others could run away.
Because they said
Yep.
that in the game, we feel like we caused this because Will
Yeah.
sacrificed himself to protect us, and instead of taking him on.
And which he did. He ran away and had the Demogorgon chase him throughout the Upside Down.
Yeah.
And I like talking out. I think the Lost Knight might be Will, and
But Will was always sort of depicted as like a wizard.
maybe or it could be a new
Hey,
character.
Gandalf came back with a sword, man.
True.
He was a wizard. He had a fireball.
Yeah.
So what do we think's wrong with Will? Do we think he's like... Is there a possibility we think maybe Will is going to become evil?
I don't know if he'll become evil, but he'll be a host. He'll be like a parasitic host.
So stuff's coming out of him.
I hope they don't do like the chest monster from Aliens.
Yeah, I don't want to see him die, but
I don't either.
I wonder if he's... Yeah, I don't know. I wonder
Or
if they-
maybe it gives maybe if they can clean him out, he'll have some kind of control and be able to open portals into the Upside Down.
Yeah, they could give him powers through that.
Because he did flash and show up all of a sudden in the Upside Down.
Yeah, he did. He was
I
like...
forgot
At the
about that.
end, right when he was
Yeah.
washing up for dinner.
He could see it.
Yeah.
Maybe he has the ability to like see it now.
Or
And-
if he's a parasitic host, maybe he's a part of it.
No, one
Yeah.
thing
He's another fleet.
one thing I don't remember the detail of at the end, right before he goes into the bathroom and does the flash
Yeah.
thing. Does he get up and go on his own, or does his mother say, "Go wash up for dinner"? I don't remember.
He gets up on his own. He had to go to the...
He's like, I'm going to go wash my hands before dinner. And she even makes a comment. He's like, he never goes and washes his hands.
Yeah.
He made an excuse because I think he
Yeah.
knew he was going to throw it up.
Okay.
I feel it coming.
Yeah. So if he's been doing this for a month, and let's say he does it once a day,
And they're going down the drain.
and they're going down the drain, the sewage treatment plant's going to have 30 Demogorgon
Demogorgons
babies.
walking around. Or did they die when he's spitting them up too early? You know what I mean?
Possibly. Maybe they
But it
need a
didn't
host.
look dead. It like slithered
Yeah,
down
it
in
slithered.
the. It didn't look like a pleasant thing, and he was way too
No.
easy with it.
Yeah,
And just,
yeah.
There's another Demogorgon into this thing.
It reminded me of the scene in the one Harry Potter movie where Ron tries to curse Draco, and he gives himself that slug curse, and he's just
What are you
puking up
talking
slugs.
I've
in
never
it.
seen a Harry Potter. Sorry.
Harry Potter references.
We'll watch
Boo.
it sometime.
So what about
Get
Will's?
together and watch them?
What about Will's brother and Mike's sister? Do we think like they're going to eventually put those two together, or they're going to be like demon hunters? And
I don't know. I kind of hope that they don't. Or they could be the proud princess in the Lost Night.
could, yeah. I mean,
I-
they did. I mean, his brother, he was the one that like figured out
Yeah.
how to beat these things, how to trap them, how to lure them.
Yep.
You know, they were all about that.
I also think that I think I now thinking about it, I would rather them never get together, because there
Yeah.
could be. I think it's too easy.
Yeah,
Too
I don't think
cliche.
they will.
Yeah.
They could be allies.
Yeah, I think they're going to always be friends.
And I think they're going to be two key characters that will pick up when shit starts going bad
Yeah.
again. Like if they see things happening, I think they'll be like, "Uh oh, did you notice that animal went missing? Someone was there might be a portal there."
Yeah.
They're going to be alert to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that you've got the core of a weird Stranger Things Avengers.
Yes.
When shit starts getting weird.
They're going to know.
Yeah.
All right. So let's jump then to the sheriff and some of the
right.
adults here. So the sheriff at the end,
Gets taken away.
first
in
he
that
gets
car.
taken away by the government people.
Yep.
Goes with them willingly because he made some sort of deal.
Well, he was
with
sold
them.
out 11. He
Yeah.
sold out 11 to give it back so that he could get his town back to normal.
Right. So he could get Will and all
Yeah.
that. He really wanted to save Will.
Yeah.
You know, it was cool with that.
Well, I think because he couldn't save his own daughter, he was able
Yeah.
to save Will.
And we didn't talk about it, but the scene when he breaks in and gets the bot. First of all, the scene when they bring Will out of the water was really traumatic.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh
That was a
man,
rough
that
episode.
sucks. Like, and the kids were all crying.
Yeah.
And then when you discover it's like stuff with cotton, I was
So
like,
weird.
oh man, that's
Joy Division.
weird. Like I knew it
Yeah.
wasn't him. Yeah. But then at the end, he brings the waffles to that like, is that like a portal box?
I think it's just a safe box. Like, I don't know. Maybe he
I
just.
don't know how the
built it-
waffles jump over though.
I don't think they do jump over.
No,
I don't think
does he think
she's.
she's just running around the woods, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think she's just out or like
So you don't think she's in the Upside Down?
no, or if she might have found that tree that has the gateway in it,
Yeah.
and she comes out and eats and then goes back, or she just kind of like is on her own.
Yeah.
And then probably later on she gets possessed by the Phoenix Force, and then we get X-Men 4. What? Oh, sorry.
So what do you think he's doing with the government then? Like he's just in on it?
I feel like I'm monopolizing this.
No,
this
you're
show.
fine, go.
That's all
Yeah.
right. He might, because you notice they just kill everyone without even thinking about it. But they don't. He's like their biggest threat, and they didn't kill him. at
Well,
all.
but all the people that were killing people are all dead. That chick's dead. Matthew Modine's dead.
Well,
They
like
were all,
anyone who was like getting a little too in deep with it, they were just shooting ahead, like the burger guy.
Yeah.
They just killed him.
well, it's a little bit more exposed now.
But the biggest threat, who knows everything, like they didn't kill him. They
Well,
didn't
Will's
even-
also a threat because he knows everything. He was there.
The biggest threat that knows
Yeah.
everything is the police chief of this small town.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Who else is going to be? Who's going to be the one that sees all this stuff first? He has now been. He basically sold his soul to the government so he could be the first in line to now deal with all this shit that's going to happen in the area.
So you think he's going to be like going around being alert? That
He's going to be on high alert, and then he's going to be one watching it and trying to cover it up so it doesn't become a big mass hysteria thing.
Do you think he's trying to save 11 or just leaving her alone?
I think he's trying to.
Because he did sell her out big time.
He did, but I think he also feels something. I think a lot of ties with 11 is with his daughter.
Yeah.
So maybe she's the daughter that he could never have, and he's trying to be nice to her.
Okay.
Now I have one question about the tie-in with his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
When he and Will's mom are in the underneath,
Yeah.
and they
The
get
upside down.
the upside down,
The
Oh,
underneath.
God.
That's a new dimension. The underneath.
the upside down.
Justin's is just underneath this bed. I'm in the underneath, and he's got like action figures like Demogorgon, young Will.
Crawling under my house in the underneath. All right,
Anyway.
sorry, go ahead.
when they get to his the tree fort,
Castle Will. Or
castle, castle, whatever.
Castle
their
Rock.
And he sees the stuffed animal crushed there. They do a quick flashback to
The
his
same
daughter.
one.
Was it the same animal?
It was. It was the
Why
same
the
thing.
hell was his daughter's stuffed animal with Will?
Well, it's probably like
It's
A
like
mass-produced one, like regular teddy
Or-
bear. Like a Monchi-Chi.
They never said They never said what caused the cancer. You mean like
Where are you going with that now?
maybe the
Theories McGurk.
theories McGurr.
Theories
We
McGurk.
gotta come up with something for instead of YouTube bullshit theories. It's Ken's bullshit.
Ken's nerd comic store theories.
And it's called Theories McGurk.
Theories McGurr.
So what are you trying to say there? That
maybe she got cancer from some weird government thing, but I don't know how a teddy bear would be the cause of it.
I just think that was just a flashback,
Something to cause him to remember.
My next question:
All right.
do you think 11 was the woman's daughter that didn't speak anymore?
I think, of course, she was.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, she was a.
So, note to junkies: if you take enough LSD, you're going to have a kid with superpowers.
Yeah, she had a kid that was definitely. Well, it wasn't also that it was. She did have the powers, but she was also connected to the Upside Down because she could track people there.
I don't think she was connected to the Upside Down. I don't think she was connected to the Upside Down until she touched the Demogorgon when she was thinking its thoughts.
But she had to be connected to the Upside Down because she found the Demogorgon there.
She is okay. Here we go.
Here we go. Let's get into it again. All right, go
The
on.
Upside Down is at the same frequency as.
Someone who's high on LSD?
No, it's the same frequency of what we have. What's going on? Oh, sorry.
Idiots.
It's at the same frequency of what's going on now. We can't see it. It's existing at the same.
It's existing
plane.
at the same, right along with us, but parallel.
So, when she saw the mind created maybe by the Dungeons and Dragon board of the Demogorgon, she doesn't see her brain. Hers. What is it? Telekinetic? Not telekinesis. It's telepathy.
Telepathy.
Her telepathy can go multi-dimensional.
Okay.
And when she touched the Demogorgon and he realized there was another plane, that's when she was connected to the Upside Down.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree. I think her powers aren't just telepathy and telekinesis. I think that she also has some trans-dimensional abilities too.
Well, I mean,
which
they
led
were-
her. I think they're going to develop that more, where she may be even able to open portals on her own and do that because she's able to track people there and all that.
I think she's only able to track them whenever, because we all exist on the same plane but at different frequencies, and her mind goes across all frequencies.
Maybe
Yeah, and she's able
because
to... But they were using her to find... Because they talked about one of the flashbacks, you need to go find the monster. And this was... But it was a flashback for before this stuff all happened.
Well, you don't know how far back.
she sensed the monster, got scared. I think originally when she was using her powers, they were having her try to track someone else.
She was trying to get secrets from the Russians.
Yeah.
And was like, she was killing Russians.
And then she saw a monster.
Then she
And then they
got
were
the
like, go
monster.
back and find out what that was. And then all of a sudden, when she did that, that's the thing in the beginning when it causes that big explosion and
But she
the portal
touched-
opens up.
She touches. They show her touch it,
Touch
and
it.
that's when shit goes crazy.
And then a portal opens up and all that shit goes down.
And I don't think the monster, because she would have heard the monster, because she was in there one time before in a flashback, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She would have seen the monster in there then, but since since Mike didn't create it because of the D&D game, it wasn't in the bath.
You're still on that, the D&D game.
I think I'm confirming even more right now.
I don't know. I think she's gonna have some kind of dimensional powers too this time around, like ability to go back and forth or do something like that. Her mind's opened up to that now.
Maybe.
So we're all talking and assuming that she's going to be back in season 2.
I think she is.
But I mean, at the end, spoilers, at the end, she disappears when she kills the Demogorgon.
I'm a strong. I believe if there is no body, they're not dead. The old
Yeah.
comic book adage that if
Yeah.
there's no
she
body.
has to be back.
Yeah.
Right. So let's talk a little bit more about the upside down, or the inside out, or the underneath, or the up top. So you think there was 2 monsters?
I think there definitely.
So you think there might be another one left? Is that all that's left, or do you think there's some more shit going on there? If they're pulling people into there and then planting eggs in their mouth, maybe there could be a bunch of monsters.
Well, there could be now. Yeah, there could be now, definitely, because they was it Barb is her name? Barb, and then there was the 2 fishermen that went missing. I think it was like 5 people in all that went missing from the Demogorgon, and I think that they all could be hosts for parasitic.
Do you think maybe that there's some sort of higher power in the Upside Down? Like something that's controlling those monsters?
Yeah.
A major villain?
Which could be the Thessal Hydra.
something that's like
Yeah.
manipulating, sending
the
these things
queen.
out,
Yeah.
like a queen of some sort, or a king, or
Oh, you think that maybe that there's
like even in D&D lore, is there like a head? There's all these monsters. Is there a head villain?
there is
There's like deities.
Yeah, there's
like the
deities and
gods.
stuff. Yeah, that's doing this.
So
But-
Does that
maybe
really count? I don't- but
maybe they
don't, like-
tie in like that.
Sure.
But how big do you make this? Like, that's why I don't know if they'll go that far.
Well,
Because-
that's the thing with anything. If you think about any shows, okay, like I'm going to use the show Supernatural for reference here. When you first start the first season of Supernatural, they're fighting some ghost, couple little things here, and then eventually at the end they get into a demon. All this is a demon, and they have to fight a demon. And then in the next season, there's multiple demons, and there's a lot of demons, and then pretty soon, after 5 or 6 episodes, they're fighting Satan, and
Well,
then there's
the-
angels,
and
and then there's
angels.
God and heaven. They really go all out. I mean, they fought.
yeah.
They have God's sister and all these other things, and
How's God have a sister?
it's
Hey,
we won't
watch
get
the
in.
show.
It goes
No.
it goes way out, and that was the thing with that show where people were like, "Oh, I like the local feel of it. They're gonna go too far." But they haven't. People still enjoy it because they still make it good because it's quality writing. It's a good show. It's in 11 seasons. So this show, I know what you're saying. Like, it had that good feel because it was one monster. It was creepy.
yeah.
Could this show go to the point where we're in a 5th season and it's like a whole thing of stuff from the Upside Down and a bunch of monsters and a bunch of
Do we
deities?
see
and-
another dimension?
yeah, more dimensions. And
What? The
Are they-
leftover?
are they playing D&D and controlling all this stuff? And and would people be mad about that? Like, you're like, oh, I don't want to go too far.
I don't want to go there yet.
Can they, well, it's obviously not going
I
to go
feel
there
like
yet.
mean,
I
they
feel like
could
we've only
do
got
it,
the
they-
tip whipped out right now. I don't
Yeah.
want to go whole.
You just want to play just a tip.
I don't think. Yeah.
Do
They
you?
could.
How far ahead do you think they're going to jump for season 2? Where they're going to start?
I like to see it every year. Like, this is like just the next summer. Like,
Well,
Will's
it's kind of
been
winter.
Well, maybe. Well, you get through the winter.
I don't think you can't go too far because obviously he's having a problem spitting up slugs.
Well, maybe that's how what you kind of do. Like, hey, it's been like 6 months.
Yeah.
And he's like, in there, he's getting sicker, and they don't know what's causing it. And it's like the parasites. He's eating a lot, but he's real thin.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I don't mean to bore you, Justin.
I don't know. So, and I also think you're going to see more portals opening up there. I feel like that's a hot spot now.
Yeah.
That
That's gonna
once
be
it
the
happened
main-
there. Because, and clear me up with this. So the government originally there was just there to experiment with the kid with powers.
Yes.
They weren't
Well-
there because of the Upside Down or
No.
anything like
No, they were there experimenting on adults with LSD,
that. Okay.
and then when
Listen to
11 was
Grandpa.
born, they started experimenting on her.
And why is she 11?
That means that there must have been
10
10
other.
others.
So can they bring these kids in?
Hey,
Possibly.
yes.
9 shows up. They
7,
call her
8.
N for
So,
short.
I hope 7, 8, 9.
7 shows up. They call her Sev.
7's real fat.
7, 8, 9.
That's it.
But I mean, that's the thing. They could bring in other kids
Yeah.
that are different numbers, or even 13.
Different
Someone that-
powers.
106. They could go on forever.
And they could go down. They could go down like almost a New Mutant
Yep.
route. Like this one, she has pyro powers.
Yeah.
This one does this. This one controls animals.
Or instead of we're focusing on this one with the Upside Down and thinking that's part of it, what if they wrapped all that up and they go to another laboratory and it's like, oh, this is a story about what happened with 3.
yeah.
Like, and it's totally
Whole
different.
new cast and everything.
Whole new cast. Whole new everything.
That's what I was
Maybe
wondering if they
different
were,
time period.
if they were going to
You know?
That would
go
be cool.
almost like the horror story on
American Horror Story.
Yeah.
American Horror Story.
yeah, where it's always a different thing.
Yeah.
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 I don't know if I'd like that because I like this cast. I want more Hopper and I want all that stuff.
Yeah.
Can always come back to it.
Yeah, yeah. If they do go to instead of following the kids, they follow the different number of special children, and it sucks and it tanks.
Well,
and
see-
just go back to the kids.
Another thing I think of is, like you said, the government started off here because they were experimenting on people.
Mm-hmm.
I think the government interests now were. I don't think you've seen the last of the government tie-in,
No, I don't think so either. But I think
and I think they're going to be interested now on the Upside Down now.
Yeah.
Because before it was, oh, we have a girl that has power, she can read minds. Now it's like, Because the government, they're going to want to weaponize everything.
Well, yeah.
There's
Yeah, of
monsters
course.
from there that can go through walls and attack people. Let's capture them and make them assassins.
Well,
you
not
know.
just that, but they could
Well,
sneak.
they could go there.
They,
They
they
could.
could sneak.
Yeah,
they could
sure.
sneak their operatives into the upside down and
Yeah.
have them pop out in a portal in the
Right.
president of Russia's
They could
bedroom or something.
walk into an enemy's house, go right into a room, then go through back into our world and kill somebody. I definitely think you're going to see government involving and trying to harness the power of the Upside Down.
I mean, for God's sakes, they tried to turn raptors into fighting machines.
They did.
Let's not get mixed up into what we're talking about here.
They did.
Yeah, we're not allowed to do that anymore.
So I think we're going to see. I think you're going to see a
Damn it,
lot
Perry.
more government involved, and I think you're going to see Hopper trying to balance that,
Yeah.
protect the kids.
And I feel like there's going to be a lot of it like their federal agents going to show up. It's like, I got this. Under control.
Well, and think about your theory. Let's say Mike and his friends are somehow controlling this
Yeah.
because of they're playing this game. Mm-hmm. Do you think the government's going to want to get involved in that? Like they have some power, and,
Yeah.
Or if
D&D.
or if the weird dad's involved somehow and he's
Maybe
some
that's-
kind of villain.
Well, maybe that's why all these people were in this town. Maybe they all have. And then 11 was just there getting tested on. But what if Mike's
It's going to be
two?
like the Dome, and they don't really know that they
Yeah,
can never
right.
leave the town.
Yeah, and then you definitely have Eleven's mom, which they could go stuff there.
She wakes up.
Yeah, there's a
She
lot.
has metal claws.
There's a lot of directions they can go in. She's Professor X. She has diamond skin.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a lot they could go with. Real quick, we'll wrap up with this. What would you not like them to do that would make you maybe not want to watch anything?
I think regardless of what they do in the next season, I'll watch it. But if it gets too big, I like the fact it's the kids and them dealing with the situation. I don't want it to be too big. I don't want it to be and go crazy superhero. I want it to be these boys dealing with the Upside Down and maybe no more than a handful of monsters.
Yeah.
Or if they don't go to the other dimension in next season, they just deal with Will's throwing up slugs.
Yeah.
And then I want to take it super slow, and I want it to be very small because I think a Netflix series is perfect for small scale awesomeness.
Right.
And I keep it in the 80s. But that's about it.
Well, the other thing is, if this show, let's say it goes 5 seasons, these kids are going to grow up fast.
They will,
And
and
it
they're
lo-
going to deal with it.
Yeah, and it's going to lose that edge of Dustin's a cute kid with no teeth. Then he's just a
He's gonna
gangly
be just
looking
creepy,
teenage
gross.
kid, and you're like, I
Then
don't like
kill
that.
them off. They start getting weird looking. Just
They
axe
start
'em.
getting gangly. It's
Yeah.
time to get them out of there.
That's when you start having spoiler ender
Yeah.
That
season finales.
Snaggletooth's not cute anymore, Dustin.
Yeah, that kid's not
You
cute
gotta
anymore.
go.
He's
You gotta go with
weird.
Dustin's little brother.
Well,
Franklin.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
That's one of the appeal of the shows. Everybody thinks the kids are cute. They're
I
funny.
mean, I don't find them cute. I just like the kids.
Well, they're cool because they're
They're-
young,
yeah.
cool kids. It's like the Goonies film.
youth-
They remind me
Yeah.
of kids.
Nobody
that-
wants to watch Goonies now with
Corey Feldman
Corey Feldman
scoring some dope.
Yeah, it's creepy now.
Those kids look like kids that I actually enjoy that come in the store.
Exactly.
They, buy their D&D stuff
Right.
here.
Right. So yeah. How about you? Stuff that you
No,
wouldn't-
like I said, like Ken said, I'm gonna watch second season unless, I can't think of a trailer that they would pop out that's gonna make me be like, I'm not watching that. That's ridiculous. I'm gonna watch the second season, and we'll see if I go any further beyond that.
All right.
Yeah, well, this is also coming together to watch Sausage Party. So
Right.
no matter what they have in the trailer, he's going to
Yeah.
watch it.
Do you think they should stick with 8 episodes or go to 10?
I think there should be 2 episodes that are 8 hours each.
What, like Sherlock?
No, I'm fine with it being less than 10.
Yeah,
like
that's
8,
fine.
Yeah. Whatever makes sense for the story so it doesn't get too drawn
much.
out.
Yeah. Let's not go crazy flashbacks either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's do one more prediction, and we'll always have this on here so we can see how many seasons does this go. How many do they do?
106? No, I think 3.
And we're done. Good night.
No, 3.
3.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think
Netflix
that
series are kind of like that. How many series did Orange Is the New Black?
Orange is the New Black got canceled at 4.
Well, I think they started 5 and then it got
How
canceled.
about House of Cards?
3, 4?
That's
yeah,
like
something
5,
like-
I thought. House. Or I
Those get kind of dumb though. So
I think that if it doesn't end at 3, it's jumping the shark by 3.
wow. Well, that's you though. You're very much like things you can only have a little bit of goodness then you're done. Then you're out.
Yeah,
Listen.
too much of a good thing.
Listen, tell me anything that's been wonderful for a long period of time.
Supernatural.
Supernatural's a
Bullshit.
great
It's going on
example.
its 12th season. Every year it gets better
It's
and
so
better.
good.
I've been binge watching it on
Every
Netflix,
year it
and
gets better
it's very
and better.
enjoyable.
And you think to yourself after the season ended, like, okay,
Like,
that was pretty huge.
Yeah.
I don't know how they could beat that. And then the next season starts and you're like, this is good. Like every year since like the 5th season, I thought like, what are they going to do now? And you're like, wow, I'm in. This is good.
And this is all on Netflix?
All of it.
Yeah,
Well, not season
all
11.
the first 10 seasons is
Yeah,
on
10
Netflix.
And you know why? Because the writing is so good, they keep it fresh. Where they're always like, they're always like topping on like when you watch it, you can tell when you watch Supernatural, you go back, you can tell what was popular at that time
Yep.
and what people made fun of because they're always keeping it modern. They're making fun of like Miley Cyrus and all this. Then when they get older, it's like they're making fun of this, making fun of that, but derailing on Supernatural. But
Yeah.
I feel like this show is that good that they could keep going with it. Not overdoing it each season, but giving us something different each year from the Upside Down that's odd and having a reason for it.
All
Yeah.
right.
I think they could go. I honestly think they could go 5 or 6.
We'll see.
I'll split the difference 4.
I think 2.
That's
To
it.
be honest,
Just 2 seasons.
Yep.
The only thing that could derail it early at 2 or 3 seasons is if the kids do grow up too much
And get a little gangly.
and they not that they get a little gangly, just that they have trouble writing the kids at the age they're supposed to be
Yeah.
when they're clearly older than that.
They're on
Well,
that
and
awkward
if they're
phase,
older
yeah.
and they're no longer like playing D&D
Yeah.
and they're not into that and they're
Yeah, I mean, if they start season 3 and they're playing like they get their Atari and they're playing video games and they show the sad D&D board over sticking out of the toy box. And
I do want to
sure.
see. I do want to see
Makes
Mike
sense.
take the girl to the dance, though.
Yeah.
Poor Mike. He got a kiss and then she died. That'll ruin you for life. All right. Well, I guess we will see
Yeah.
what happens. But go check out Stranger Things,
On
and I
Netflix.
actually think it's a show that a few months I might even watch it again. Just
Yeah.
I may go through it again just to see
Yeah,
if
how about you pay attention this time?
yeah.
the second time through it.
Yeah.
Stop playing video games while you're doing it.
Watch the season 2. None of anything that I said in this podcast, none of it will be relevant. It'll all be about like something stupid.
Yeah.
Be
it'll be
completely different
It'll
cast.
be a
and-
documentary on photography.
You're like Ken. Remember when you thought this was tied into D&D? What an idiot you were.
Well, that's why we do this, to see how big of an idiot I
Yep.
am.
To see where we're at. All right. Hopefully this gets over 3,000 views too, like Game of Thrones did.
I'll be happy if it gets over 10.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks.
Well, thanks, everybody. Please like, share, subscribe, and invite.
Good night.
Later.
Deuces.